Hi, I'm Becca from My Crazy Good Life. Today we're going to talk about 5 tips to help you survive Thanksgiving Day on the 21 Day Fix. We've all woken up on Thanksgiving morning with the best intentions, but gone to bed frustrated with our food choices. This year is different. These tips will help you stay on plan whether you're on day 1 or 21. Tip 1, make a plan. Tip 2, change your mindset. Tip 3, limit your leftovers. Tip 4, use your treat swaps and use your treat meals. Tip 5, give yourself some grace. Tip number 1, make a plan. You have to have a plan for your containers for the day. These are all the containers that I get to eat on bracket A. You can do the same thing no matter what bracket you're on. So I know that for breakfast, I'm gonna have 2 eggs for a red, and I'm gonna take 1 green full of sliced tomatoes, and I'm gonna add that to my breakfast. That's gonna keep me full, and that's gonna get one of my greens out of the way. Nobody goes to Thanksgiving dinner to eat a bunch of greens. My plan is to eat veggies from the veggie tray that I bring, along with some nuts from the bowl of nuts. Then I'm gonna walk away from all the food until it's time to eat dinner. These are the containers that I've reserved for my Thanksgiving dinner. I'm gonna start off with a salad on my plate, and I'm gonna put some dressing on that with my orange. I'm gonna have 1 green full of asparagus. I love turkey, so I'm gonna reserve 2 of my red containers for turkey. And I love stuffing, but I like mashed potatoes. So I'm gonna put 1½ yellows of stuffing onto my plate. And I like mashed potatoes, but just a little bit. I'm gonna use half of a yellow container for those. My 3 teaspoons are gonna go for gravy. I know beforehand that the gravy that's made is a healthier gravy. It's still made with butter. It's still made with turkey stock, but it doesn't have a bunch of flour in it. She uses cornstarch, and there's not a bunch of extra oils in there. So I'm comfortable using my teaspoons for the day for gravy. When I make my plate, I'm not gonna use the ladle that usually comes with the gravy. I'm gonna have a teaspoon in my hand, and I'm gonna quietly use that for my gravy. Nobody's gonna have any idea that I'm actually counting teaspoons of gravy onto my turkey. So just to plate this so that you can see exactly what it looks like. So here's my salad. Spears of asparagus. 2 red containers of turkey. The best part, I think, stuffing with a little bit of mashed potatoes. That's a solid, hearty Thanksgiving plate. This is not skimping on any of my favorites. I'm gonna feel completely satisfied. This is my plan. My plan is also to not go back for seconds. I'm gonna use a regular size plate, not an appetizer plate, and I'm gonna get everything that I want on the plate the first time that I go up. Because I did this, I know now what my plate is supposed to look like on Thanksgiving Day. I have a mental image of what these containers look like on my plate for portions when I'm building my plate. I know that when I get home on Thanksgiving night, I'm gonna want to snack on something, because when you eat a huge meal at 1, it doesn't mean that you're full for the rest of the night. So I saved 2 purples and a red container. I saved a red container so that I can have some turkey afterwards when we get home. And then I have 2 purple containers. I'm probably gonna have this one before I actually get hungry, so maybe right at 4, 5, 6 o'clock. I'm gonna have an apple for one of my purples, and then before bed I'll have, I have a half of a mango or a half of a purple container of mango, and then I have a quarter of a banana. These, they pair perfectly together, and that's a really good sweet treat. So the rest of my family might eat a little bit of pie. I'm gonna have this for dessert. I'm going to a friend's house, so I know that I'm gonna have to really strongly eyeball my portions. If I'm serving Thanksgiving dinner at home, the one thing that I've done in the past that's always kept me on track is to measure my spoons. So this is one of the serving spoons that I use at every meal when somebody comes over to eat, just because it's a nicer one. I know that this is a ½ cup. So when I make a reasonable size scoopful of stuffing or mashed potatoes, this is gonna give me about a ½ cup serving. So that's 1 yellow. That's the perfect way to be able to know exactly what you're putting on your plate. Tip number 2, change your mindset. This is not the last time that you're gonna have Thanksgiving dinner. This is not the first time you've ever tasted these foods, and it will not be the last time that you've ever tasted these foods. You can make these foods any day. That's what you need to tell yourself. If you love stuffing like I love stuffing, remind yourself, you can make it next week if you want it again, and you can make it the week after that. You don't have to have all of the food on this one day. Tip number 3, limit your leftovers. Make a plan for your leftovers. I'm gonna have leftover turkey on Friday and Saturday for lunch, then I'm done. Do not accept all of the leftovers that people wanna give you, and be the person that gives all the leftovers away when they're leaving your house. Tip 4, use your treat meals and use your treat swaps. You get 3 treat swaps a week, and many people like to take 1 treat meal a week. If you've been on plan every other day, use Thanksgiving dinner as a treat meal. That's okay. Be reasonable about it though. If you're somebody that uses treat swaps, know that you can have a glass of wine instead of having that yellow container of stuffing. You get 3 treat swaps a week, use them wisely. And the last tip, give yourself some grace. That's not an excuse to eat anything that you want all day long. It's saying that if you mess up, that's okay. Don't make it a 4-day binge weekend. Start back as soon as you get home from Thanksgiving dinner or as soon as all the guests leave. You're done. You're starting over. You're making better decisions starting right now. You've got this.